Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's been a week for y'all. It's been 10 minutes for us. We were having to move some files over, but we're back.
All right. So if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, go check out Church Motive. It's brand new. We got new sermon series up there, new resources up there, and it's just a brand new website. It looks a lot better.
Brand new. Looks great.
2.0.
Yeah, we would talk all about it, but we did that in part one. Just go watch it anyways.
Yeah, go watch it anyways.
If part one makes it, we're not sure if we like it. We're saying
Oh,
this.
yeah.
I like this title though, so maybe this one will be definitely a winner.
Yes.
Keeping the online community when this is all over. By this we mean COVID-19.
Quarantine.
Have you seen the meme where that preacher man, the one that got in trouble with a private jet, he goes, COVID-19? And I shouldn't have blown the mic. Sorry. And that people's hair fall back, and he goes, "You're out of here," something like that.
Oh, no, I
that
haven't
was
seen
good.
that.
But anyways, COVID-19 has taken the church world and turned it upside down, basically.
Yeah. It's been a little rough. There's people that are going back, though.
Yeah, people are going back. I've seen a lot of people, they post and they said the church has left the building. Has kind of been their phrase for the year. I was telling Miles in part one that there's a church in Atlanta that has already canceled services the rest of the year. They're going strictly online for the rest of the time. For this year at least. I'm sure next year they'll start off strong.
I think that'd be a great
It's bold,
idea.
very bold.
Yeah, and it really puts you in a place where you have to update and have to become the best at doing all this online.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's cool. I like that. I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah, it's that's the only one I've seen do that so far. Everybody else, I guess, has kind of been excited, ready to get back in.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's been a lot of pressure from a financial stance on some of these older churches that are getting, the checks and cash in hand rather than online. And we kind of talked about last week about moving things to online.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it's pretty tough on some of these churches that don't have the online resources.
That's true. And they're trying to, some people, that's how they survive, pastors and stuff, which we have a different theory, but maybe we'll share that one day.
One day. We have an idea.
But a lot of pastors right now and ministry workers and staff, this is their income and living. So I'm sure there has been, I would love to see stats on that. There's been a decline on giving throughout this. I'm sure there has to have been.
Yeah,
because job loss and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But it seems everybody has survived. Hopefully, we don't ever want to see a church just splat. Yeah. So I'm excited that some churches are able to get back in person, because I've known a lot of people that just throughout the whole thing have just been saying they've missed that community, they've missed being back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this episode, we want to encourage you that everything you worked so hard for the last 3 to 4 months on your Facebook Live, Facebook page, your website, don't just stop.
Yeah. We want to try to keep that online community that you built up, so hard to build up.
Yep. And
keep it. So, because there are going to be some people that do not want to come back to the church because they feel like it's unsafe, and that's fine. Let them stay home, because you have the resources to reach them.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to be there. It would be great if they were there to be part of the physical community, but we're in a time where a lot of people can't be.
Yep. And I know, for instance, Kate and I, we go to a church that was already doing online. So if we were out of town on a Sunday, we could watch it either live, or we could go back and watch it later. And I've seen comments like, I was telling Miles, I would go on Sundays. I'd go to a bunch of churches in this area and just watch their live and see what it looked like and stuff, because I was so fascinated by it. And I would see people's comments like, "Hey, so excited! I'm able to watch this from home."
Mm-hmm.
And so they love that you're going live, even if you feel like you're looking at one church thinking theirs looks so fancy and ours is like a cell phone. That's okay.
Yep.
Your people are loving that you're live, and they have regular lives where they travel. There's gonna be Sundays that they're not there, but they're gonna love being to have the option to go watch it. So just because you're back in person, don't put down the cell phone. Keep it up on the tripod like you had it. Keep recording. We don't care if the audio is perfect, because there were some I showed Miles where the audio, it was like, oh, this sounds weird, but it was there.
Yeah, it was there, and they was making an effort, and then they're going to build on that to make things better. It's just going to...
Yeah, everybody, don't just be satisfied with this. I mean, try to make things better, but don't just stop.
Yeah, don't just stop. You might have to dedicate somebody to it.
Yeah, hey, that's a good way to get somebody. If you want somebody to get involved, they're just not fit for to sing or play an instrument or serve somewhere else. Maybe that's something they can do. Is they can do that, and then this came to me. Great idea. Somebody, if you're live, Facebook Live, which majority of y'all were, Facebook Live. Some people went YouTube.
Yeah.
But majority is Facebook. Have somebody with the phone or on the computer as a moderator, and if somebody's commenting throughout it and they're saying, "Hey, I'd love for y'all to pray for me during this," don't wait till 3 hours after service and reach out or potentially ignore them. Have that person during the service that's responsible, and they can respond right there, and then people see that you are responding, and maybe they want to involve more in the chat. Because I've seen, for instance, Elevation Church, they have thousands of people watch all the time, and their chat's just like nonstop. But then you'll see Elevation Church's page start responding to people, calling them by the name, saying they're praying for them, and that makes more people want to get involved.
Yeah.
That's just something real simple that somebody in your church can do.
Oh, yeah.
Very easy.
All right, so we built this online community, and people are starting to come back. The online community is getting a little bit smaller, but how do we keep those that are online still and not forget about them?
Yeah. So don't think that you don't have an online community anymore just because people come back. You still do.
Yeah.
People are still watching.
In the last episode, if it makes it, we talked about becoming contactless and basically really relying on your website and directing people to the website.
Yep.
And this is what keep the online community. This is going to be basically the same thing. Is that you want to direct people to the website. So what churches can do to keep the online community is to not slack on streaming. We're just talking about that. Dedicate somebody to keep up with the streaming and keeping up with the technology, just turning it on, commenting back to when people comment, yada yada yada. It's super easy. You're already doing it. Let's just keep it going because this will be great.
And it may be easier now because I didn't even think about this, but some of y'all, I noticed that throughout the week you would pre-record your sermon, message. Somebody would have to edit it, throw it together, make it go live on Sunday. Now it's just set up the camera, the phone, press record. You don't have to Thursday try to record your message. I know how awkward that can be, standing in front of a camera trying to. It's weird making a 3-second video. You don't have to do that. your crowd's there. Set the camera up, set the phone up. Hey, we're going live in 5 minutes. Make sure it's working on Facebook. Press record. No pre-planning and all that stuff.
I always like the pre.
It was neat watching people like. There was a local church I watched, and they're a smaller church, but I feel like they gave a good effort into this. They would, have the worship guy. Each Sunday they'd move him around, or the preacher would be in a different spot each Sunday inside the church. And it was really cool to see the churches that used to not care that much about their online put in a real big effort.
I think some churches, they end up pre-recording, but they put on, I don't want to say it like an act, but they basically mimic as if it were live.
Yeah. And
then they have their team, commenting, their whole team, since it's pre-recorded, commenting and, reaching out to people that are commenting on it. Yeah. I think that's what the church I used to go to. I watch online now, but I think that's what they do is they pre-record, but it looks like it's live.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it is.
So you're not watching the same service that the people there, if you were to watch it online?
No, they're still not there.
I mean, on a regular Sunday, if say Misty was there and you were at home, are y'all watching the same service live, or is she watching live and you're watching?
If they were allowing people to go back, they haven't allowed people to go back. Yeah. I'm saying they're pre-recording what they got now, with nobody going on Sunday.
But for churches like in our area now that are some are back, some are not, you would say just go live so that everybody's watching the same thing?
You can do that. And of course you can during the week if you wanted to, which we'll talk about something that'll probably help out some people.
Yeah.
When we get there, I guess. But it is part of pre-recording. But anyways, the next thing that you don't need to slack on is your website design and the updates. So we talked about this in the last podcast, is just having a simple website design.
Don't have to be fancy.
Does not have to be fancy. You don't have to have that many pages, really.
Nope.
Just the things that you need to get across.
Mainly, I feel like a lot of people like to see, there's a homepage, an about. Kind of, most people want to see your mission and vision. I feel like most churches need to put that up. Some people want to see pictures of the leadership. I feel like a lot of people. This isn't a must, but some people like watching or listening to past services. If you can't do that, don't freak out. I don't think you have to. And then a contact and your give page.
Yeah, most people, I would say, want to listen to the. Yeah, you don't have to, but you can easily link up your YouTube. If you've been posting on YouTube.
You just take that video, upload. If you haven't uploaded it to your YouTube, and then it's very easy to put that in on your website.
Yeah. Did you already say contact? Did you say contact?
Yeah, I said a contact page, and then your giving page.
And make sure, hey, we're jamming, ain't we?
Busy downtown.
Yeah. And make sure it's up to date. So you don't want to see, it's 2020 now, you don't want to see an egg hunt from 2015 pictures and upcoming egg hunt 2015.
Pretty much if something happens like that weekend, that next week, sometime you need to be trying to take it off and update kind of thing.
Update. I mean, it doesn't take...
No time.
I don't know what exact time, but
easy
it will take
to
no time. And then the next thing you don't need to slack on, and this is one we're going to talk a little bit more, is directing people to your website. Through call to actions and different sorts of stuff that we'll discuss in a little bit. And then the last one is actually contacting people online. So you still have that online community that you're not seeing every Sunday. You still have to reach out to them and talk to them just like you would if we were to come.
You don't want to forget about the people. And most churches, majority of churches aren't mega churches. You're like, what's it like? 150 is kind of an average number.
What's that? Say it again.
Like a congregation is about 150.
Yeah, that's about.
You pretty much know. At least in this area, if a family's not at your church on Sunday. And so, of course, with this going on, and there's families coming back, families not coming back, you kind of know who is and who isn't. And you and your leadership, it's very important you still reach out to those people. Don't make them feel like that just because they're not coming, you don't care about them because the other people are coming.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, I tend to have that kind of feeling of, man, I hate that they missed, before all this was going on and we were still at a church working. I didn't have like a bad feeling, but I was like, man, why are they missing out church so much? About a family or something like that. But I was like young and didn't understand that people had lives other than
some
church.
Some people traveling, especially in the summer, traveling, sports, and then some people just aren't dedicated, dedicated, but they just don't want to be at church every single Sunday.
But they can if they did the online. You can have resources. It's a little bit different, but we're in that time where it has to be different now.
I find myself like, for instance, right now we're up here on a Sunday morning, so I'm not watching the live, but like throughout the week or in driving down the car, I'll listen to the podcast from Sunday. So a lot of people may not watch it live, but if it's still on your Facebook page, which it shouldn't be deleted or anything, people can go back and watch it if they missed it.
So like I was saying, we're going to be talking about directing people to the website so that online community feels like they're part of it. So I'm going to give you a scenario. Okay. You're watching your favorite church. Elevation, watch them. Okay. You're watching. Worship comes up. They do a great job. Stephen Furtick comes up, doing a great job. And then at the end of the sermon, he says, all right, now everybody go sign up in the back to get more information on how you can help your community. And then it cuts to black. And then the people watching online are just sitting there waiting.
They can't do nothing.
They can't do anything. So how do we...
But Elevation Church wouldn't do that. Let me tell you what they would do. Tell them.
Well, I was going to...
They'd put a link up on the screen.
Put a link in the description.
And you'd click it and it'd take you to a digital online registration form. Which to me is way better than going back there, grabbing all that paper pen, standing around people, filling it out, trying to find the person you're supposed to. Trying to find the person you're supposed to give it to. No, I'm just gonna go on my phone, click the link, Casey Hall, address, phone number. I'd love to sign up, submit, boom, easy.
Anytime a pastor doesn't, give those extra resources to do anything about, we're just talking about online, they're missing the opportunity to, have that impactful. So imagine if I was watching online and I did not see where I could go online to sign up to get more resources on helping community, giving, yada yada yada, then that's the opportunity I just missed. That to be able to do something.
And you kind of feel like the church didn't think through it to, well, they must not care that much about this group of people, because not everybody's going to make it, like we said, in person. So if the church didn't even put nothing up, then they must only care about the people that want to come to the church, which isn't true. Shouldn't be.
You know, the online person, a lot of times they want to be a part too.
Yep.
That's why, I mean, just imagine, like, we can see Elevation's online community. Mm-hmm. They're always actively, you know, and this is just for online kind of stuff, but sharing, liking, commenting, saying, oh, I love this church. Oh, they're doing such an awesome job, you know, and they're giving towards that.
And they give their online community, like each campus is like Ballantyne, Raleigh, North Carolina, all these different campus names, and the online they call them the EFAM. So they have their own campus name. So it's not like they're forgotten about like others online people.
As much as people like hate on Elevation and Stephen Furtick,
they think through a lot of stuff.
They do a great job with online community.
I think so.
And they're able to keep it, you know, even though they do, I don't know how they are now, but even though they did, you know, live services, I mean, they do a great job. People can take pointer from them. You don't want to copy them directly because...
I was just listening to Craig Rochelle podcast, you know, the leadership podcast. Mm-hmm. I recommend y'all listen to it if you don't, but... Something he said, and it hit me. I was going to share this with Miles. I'll share it right now live.
Here we go.
He says, don't try to go where, you know, people are or where they're at. Try to be where they're going or something. And I was thinking, man, for the longest time when Miles and I were at a church and we were trying to think of stuff, Elevation was a church I was trying to, you know, get to where they were. And by the time we got something kind of where they're at, they've already moved on. And then there's this constant game of, man, they're doing something cool, let's do what they're doing. We get there and then move on, instead of trying to, well, let's not get what they're doing now, let's go where they're going next. So don't be trying to copy people, is basically what I'm saying. Do what fits for you and try to think ahead where people are going to be.
And
I think
that's basically how any like tech company like Apple or, you know, Samsung, all these big companies, that's the way they have to think to be able to get above the competition, and also try to keep people, you know, innovative in their products.
And I think where people are going to be is it's going to be this for a while. Half maybe at church, half maybe at home. So I wouldn't be putting all my chips on, well, let's get everything ready for everybody to come back. I'd probably be trying to figure out how can we keep the online community feeling like they're a part of the in-person community.
Yeah. So how do you approach that? So say you're back live, you know, people 6 feet apart, but they're in front of you. How do you tell your online community that they can still be a part? And I kind of have some ideas. I mean, one, you can easily just say it live, like just go directly to the camera and say, hey, we appreciate you being online. We wished you were here, but we understand you're not, yada, yada, yada. If you want to reach out to us, or if you want to give, or you want to, you know, have an impact on your community, go to so-and-so.com and sign up there. There's plenty of links that you can sign up. But this is what I was talking about, pre-recorded video earlier. Sometimes I always hated talking on stage when people were in front of me, even when people were not in front of me. Anytime I got up on stage, I would just, you know, shake and just, it was terrible. But you can do a pre-recorded video just saying, hey, just you and the camera, nobody else can be there, or it has to be there. You know, what does it say? I'm glad you joined us, you know, online. Go to www.ourchurch.com and, you know, click these links to get further information on stuff like that. And that's how you can redirect people to your website to get them to sign up for things, to get them to, you know, sign up for a prayer or small group or a Zoom meeting or whatever. You know what I mean?
And we talked, if you haven't watched the first part, go watch it. We talked about how easy it is to get this stuff on your website. So don't be thinking, well, that sounds good, but man, that's hard to, how am I supposed to figure all that out? Very easy to do. And it involves the people at home, so they just don't feel like they're not involved. And I was going to say, even as something I've seen pastors of larger churches that they've always had an online thing going on, they'll, hey, welcome everybody this morning. Let's look at the camera directly and welcome everybody home. Kind of just something that quick, or they'll say something like, you know, pastors always say, can I get an amen? And it says, type amen in the chat. Just so they're involving everybody. Small things like that where you can still make people feel involved. And how social media works, the more engagement it gets, the more it kind of gets seen.
Yeah.
So people are commenting, amen, or waving, hey, or somebody from your church is chatting back with them, then it's getting more likes, more comments, and then more people are seeing it. And that's a free advertisement for your church.
Yeah.
On social media.
So basically, all we're trying to say is direct people to your website.
Yeah. Do that.
That's what it is. Your website's supposed to be, up to date and simple to use. If you need to dedicate somebody to handling all this kind of stuff with a streaming website,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fairly simple. It does not take a lot of time compared to what it used to. It used to take a ton of time to try to set up this kind of stuff and make sure it works smoothly. But I mean,
it's so easy now.
Yeah.
And I'll just repeat what I said in the first one real quick. If you're using, for instance, we use Squarespace. All it is the insert button. You click a form, fill the form out. What do you want to say? And it's on your website.
And it's sent to your email.
Yep. And if you have questions, if you don't use Squarespace, or if you are using it, if you're using something else, you can email us at shcreativeco@gmail.com, and we'll help any way we can to get your website figured out and get these resources. And a cool way, if you can do the online resources, but if you are in person and you don't have any of these resources, you can go to churchmotive.com, click resources, and you can print off free ones that we've made for you. So if you haven't had connect cards, they're very important. Resource, prayer cards, small groups, we have all that for you.
Yep, and they're in the 4x6 format.
Yep.
We found that's a pretty good size.
So basically a little postcard size. And all you do is you just download the PDF and have it printed. And you could print it, on whatever kind. You can go buy cardstock and print it.
This is what we used to do, and this is kind of a side note, which we were just talking about how we want to get away from that. But when we get back to normal and people are being able to, hand stuff to each other, and it's not as contactless, a postcard size Connect card that, you can just print it off on cardstock.
Yep.
And it's a simple way to, write something down or for somebody to sign up for something. But right now we don't.
Yeah.
We don't want you to do that. We want you to have it all on your website.
Because you want people to feel safe.
We want people to feel safe, contactless. But yeah, go to churchmotive.com. You get some more resources on there.
And check it out. We hope this podcast, we hope it helped. We're going to have, in a couple weeks, we're going to have a pastor come on. He's going to kind of share. We hope. I haven't talked to him yet. He's going to share what it was like going through this transition. Just because for us, we want to see how it affected someone that leads a church. And so I think that'd be a good one for everybody to listen to. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. You can reach out to us. You can check us out at shcreativeco.com. If you want to come on the podcast, you're in ministry, we'd love to have you.
Yep.
You can reach out to us through that as well. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel like I was about to say something. If you have a topic that you want us to kind of talk about,
leave it
and we'll try.
We'd love to talk about it. We don't think we know everything, but we love to talk about it. So
yeah, we don't know everything.
We don't. We're gonna try to share what we do because we just want to help the church succeed.
Yeah.
So that's it for us. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you later.
See you next week.